The story of the 1980 Irish one, penny coin. This is a 1980 Irish one, penny, 1p coin, which was part of the Republic of Ireland. On the front side, it features a beautiful design of the Irish harp, claorsach, with 1980 written above and Éire, the Irish name for Ireland, below. On the reverse side, it shows 1p, along with a stylized ornamental bird inspired by Celtic manuscripts. This is not just an old coin, it is a living story of Ireland's independence, culture, and artistic heritage. Hello everyone, welcome to Old World Coins Vault. Here, we bring you the oldest, the rarest, and the most mysterious coins from around the world. Do you want to know which coin is worth millions? Which coin is hiding one of history's biggest secrets? And which coin looks ordinary today, but could make you rich tomorrow? So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's open the Old World Coins Vault. The harp is Ireland's oldest and most powerful national symbol, with a history stretching back over 1,000 years. According to Irish mythology, the harp was brought to Ireland by ancient gods, such as Dagda, the Celtic god of music, who used his magical harp to put enemies to sleep and awaken friends. In real history, Irish manuscripts from the 8th to 9th centuries, such as the Book of Kells, and archaeological evidence show that Irish bards, poets, and musicians played the harp in royal courts. They used it to tell stories and preserve cultural identity. The harp was often called the Queen of Instruments. When Ireland gained independence from the United Kingdom in 1922, becoming the Irish Free State, the new government decided that its currency should be completely different from British symbols like the lion and crown. The Coinage Act was passed in 1926, and the first Irish coins were released in 1928. All coins featured the harp on the obverse side as a deliberate political statement. The designer was an English artist, Percy Metcalfe, who was selected through an international competition. He based his design on the Brian Boru harp, a real 15th-century Irish harp kept at Trinity College, Dublin. This harp, with its 12 strings and intricate carvings, represents Ireland's ancient kings and its golden age. From 1928 through the 1960s, pre-decimal coins, pounds, shillings, and pence, featured this same harp. In 1937, Saoirstát Éireann was officially changed to Éire to clearly establish the Republic's identity. Even on a 1980 coin, the same classic harp design appears, with only minor changes. This design has remained largely unchanged from 1928 to today, symbolizing Ireland's continuity, its ancient traditions carried into the modern era. In the 1960s and 1970s, Ireland modernized its economy by adopting decimal currency alongside the UK. The old system, 12 pence equals 1 shilling, 20 shillings equals 1 pound, was confusing. Under the Decimal Currency Acts of 1969 to 1970, the official decimal system was introduced on February 15, 1971. 100 new pence equals 1 Irish pound, punt. To make the transition smooth, new bronze coins, halfpenny, 1 penny, 2 pence, were issued. Your 1981 pence coin belongs to this new decimal series. It is made of bronze, weight approximately 3.56 grams, diameter 20.32 millimeters. By 1980, Ireland had established its own minting facility. The Currency Centre of the Central Bank of Ireland opened in Sandyford, Dublin in 1978. Previously, coins had been produced at the UK's Royal Mint, but local minting increased sovereignty and helped control costs. The harp design on the front side is Percy Metcalfe's original 1928 design, but the 1980 version was minted under the Central Bank of Ireland. The purpose was simple. Small denominations were needed for everyday transactions, such as buying bread, milk, or a newspaper. But more importantly, it carried a cultural message. Each coin reminded every Irish citizen of their independence and heritage. In post-independence Ireland, currency was deliberately used as a nation-building tool. Because of the harp, this coin is more than just money. It became a cultural artifact. On an international level, it represents Ireland in the same way the eagle represents the US or Britannia represents the UK. The stylized bird on the back of this coin is not an ordinary bird. It is an intricate, flowing design filled with Celtic knotwork and interlace patterns. Its wings curve like ancient waves, the head held proudly, and delicate lines on the body convey movement and grace. This design is directly inspired by the Book of Kells, the world-famous illuminated manuscript kept at Trinity College, Dublin, 8th to 9th century. The Book of Kells represents Ireland's Island of Saints and Scholars era after the arrival of Christianity, using birds, animals, and knots to convey divine beauty and spiritual symbolism. On the pre-decimal Irish penny, 1928 to 1971, Percy Metcalfe had created a realistic hen with chicks design, reflecting Ireland's agricultural economy and family. Values. The Irish name for penny, pingin, is also linked to this imagery. However, with the introduction of the decimal system, new designs were needed for small denominations: half a penny, 1 penny, 2 pence. The central bank commissioned Irish artist Gabriel Hayes, 1909 to 1978, a Dublin-born sculptor and painter, to bring Celtic heritage to modern coinage. Hayes adapted ornamental bird details from Celtic manuscripts. This design appeared in different variations on the halfpenny, penny, and twopence, but all shared a connected, artistic family feel. The symbolism of the bird is profound. In Celtic art, birds represent freedom, the Holy Spirit, dove-like, peace, and migration, reflecting Ireland's migratory birds. This design revives Ireland's ancient illuminated art, which survived Viking raids and centuries of struggle. At the time of the 1971 decimal launch, it gave a fresh, modern feel, blending Ireland's rich heritage with its entry into the EEC, European Economic Community, and a new European era. Original design by Percy Metcalfe, English artist, winner of the 1926-28 competition. Inspired by the Brian Boru harp at Trinity College. In continuous use since 1928, with only minor tweaks. It served as a symbol of national sovereignty, rejecting British symbols. Gabriel Hayes, Irish artist. The design was created for 1971. Hayes passed away in 1978, but her legacy lives on in every decimal bronze coin. The 1980 coin was minted at the Central Bank of Ireland's Currency Centre in Sandyford, Dublin. Mintage, 86,712,000 pieces, very high, making it a common coin. In earlier years, coins were produced at the UK's Royal Mint, but from 1978 onward, local production increased national sovereignty. After gaining independence in 1922, Ireland was building its national identity. Currency was a powerful tool for nation-building. Figures like W.B. Yeats headed committees to select the designs. Animal and Celtic motifs were chosen because Ireland was largely agricultural, and animals were closely connected to daily life. The decimal change in 1971 was synchronized with the UK to facilitate cross-border trade, but Irish symbols were retained. By 1980, Ireland's economy was growing: agriculture, tourism, early technology. Though it faced challenges from inflation and modernization, the small 1-pence coin was essential for everyday use, buying a loaf of bread or a newspaper. The mintage was so high, over 86 million, that the coin is abundant. In circulated condition, used coins like the one you have, $25 to $250, slightly above face value for collectors. Uncirculated, UNC with original shine, $500 to $5,000 plus, depending on grade. Top gem uncirculated or proof sets, $10,000 to $300,000 US in rare cases, but the average UNC doesn't exceed $5 to $7 million. On the international market, eBay, Numista, NGC, it's a common date with no special errors. Its cultural value is significant, meaningful for Irish diaspora collectors. Demonetized in 2002 with the introduction of the euro, but the central bank still exchanges it at face value. This coin is a piece of history.